Once again, as you may or may not know, Jamaica celebrates National Heroes Day on October 18th. That's Monday coming. We decided to do a little feature on our heroes. So let's get into it. We're going to do two more. And to kick off this part two, we have Marcus Garvey. Marcus Messiah Garvey. Now, Marcus Garvey is actually Jamaica's first national hero. He was born in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne on August 17th, 1887. He was given the Order of the National Hero in 1969 as per the second schedule of the National Honors and Awards Act. In his youth, Garvey migrated to Kingston, where he worked as a printer and later published a small paper called The Watchman. During his career, Garvey traveled extensively throughout many countries, observing the poor working and living conditions of black people. In 1914, he started the Universal Negro Improvement Association, that's UNIA for short, in Jamaica. The UNIA, which grew into an international organization, encouraged self-government for black people worldwide, self-help economic projects, and protests against racial discrimination. In 1916, Garvey went to the USA where he preached his doctrine of freedom to the oppressed blacks throughout the country. However, USA officials disapproved of his activities and he was imprisoned for mail fraud, then deported. So you probably hear the story of what happened to him, right? How the FBI infiltrated his organization. Let us know in the comments if you know about that part of it. Back in Jamaica in 1927, Marcus he continued his political activity, forming the People's Political Party in 1929. He was unsuccessful in national elections but won a seat on the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. That's KSAC. And what I'm reading from, they didn't mention his paper and that the Black Star Line, but we all know that he had Negro World, which was phenomenal, which was super successful and touched so many. His Black Star Line didn't go far, but it was a start. It was showing others that it's possible, right? So Marcus was truly inspirational. Now let's get back to the script. But the world of the 1930s was not ready for Garvey's progressive ideas. Definitely not. He left Jamaica again, this time for England, where he died in 1940. His body was brought back to Jamaica in 1964. Wow, 24 years for them bring back his body. And buried in the National Heroes Park in Kingston. Marcus Garvey's legacy can be summed up in the philosophy he taught: race pride, the need for African unity, self-reliance, the need for black people to be organized, and for rulers to govern on behalf of the working classes. And there's so much more to Marcus that they didn't mention. Talk about his books, and he was really profound with words. So, and he moves, even to this day, reading something that Marcus Garvey wrote moves you, right? And it's still very true to this day. So we have to big up Marcus. We have to big up all three heroes that we mentioned, two in the first video. Nanny of the Maroons, Samuel Sharp, and Marcus Garvey. Big up. What would Jamaica be without you all? Now, the question that I like to ask is, do you think that Marcus should have gotten the national hero, as I asked for all the other heroes, based on, his achievements and what he sacrificed? um, for not just Jamaica, but the wider world. Now let's move on to the other national hero. We have George William Gordon. Now, George William Gordon was born to a slave mother and a planter father who was attorney to several sugar estates in Jamaica. George William Gordon was said to be self-educated and a landowner in the parish of St. Thomas. Right? In the face of attempts to crush the spirit of the freed people of Jamaica and again reduce them to slavery, Gordon, he entered politics. He faced severe odds as the people whose interests he sought to serve did not qualify to vote. He subdivided his own lands, selling farm lots to the people as cheaply as possible, and organized a marketing system through which they could sell their produce at fair price. So him divide up him land and people have their own farm and him organize a system so that people can sell them goods at fair price. Okay. Gordon urged the people to protest against and resist the oppression and unjust conditions under which they were forced to live. He was arrested and charged for being a part of the Morant Bay Rebellion in 1865. Now, he was illegally tried by the court and, in spite of a lack of evidence, convicted and sentenced to death. He was executed on October 23rd, 1865. Gordon was one of the 3 persons conferred with the Order of the National Hero in 1969 as per second schedule of the National Honors and Awards Act. Did you know so much about this hero? About George William Gordon? Because a lot of people know about, Marcus, Nanny, Sam, and Paul Bogle, but you don't hear as many people speaking about the other 3. So let us know if you knew this, and what do you think? Do you think that he should have been given national hero, the highest honor of the land? So we have some time, so let's do one more. I don't want to go over 10 minutes per video. So let's do Paul Bogle. Now, Paul Bogle, it is believed, was born free about 1822. He was a Baptist deacon in Stony Gut, a few miles north of Morant Bay, and was eligible to vote at a time when there were only 104 voters in the parish of St. Thomas. He was a firm political supporter of George William Gordon. Poverty and injustice in the society and lack of public confidence in the central authority urged Bogle to lead a protest march to the Morant Bay Courthouse on October 11, 1865. I said a few dates. Feel like when you're there at school and you're supposed to remember them dates here. Do you remember any so far? Now let's continue. In a violent confrontation with full official forces that followed the march, nearly 500 people were killed, and a greater number was flogged and punished before order was restored. Paul Bogle was captured and hanged on October 24th, 1865, but his forceful demonstration achieved its objectives. It paved the way for the establishment of just practices in the courts, and it brought about a change in official attitude which made possible the social and economic betterment of the people. In recognition of his efforts, Paul Bogle was conferred with the Order of the National Hero in 1969 as per the second schedule of the National Honors and Awards Act. So that's it for Paul Bogle. So him do. He led the Morant Bay Rebellion. So tell us what you guys think. Do you think Paul Bogle should have been given the national hero? He lost his life. Alright guys, so that's it. Looking forward to your comments. We're gonna do one more video on the last two heroes. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and if you're not subscribed it, wait upon. Alright guys, we'll chat soon. Until then, take care of yourself and each other.